All right. The long-awaited 1.0 Mechabellum official launch is only 3 days away. So today, the devs actually released their 1.0 patch notes. So let's jump in. Let's see what we can expect right around the official launch and what we can expect in the coming months, if not weeks. All right. So first of all, the official game launch will be on September 26th, which is Thursday at 3 p.m. UTC. So make sure that we stay on that day. I think we're going to all be very pleasantly surprised by the new things that are being implemented here. There's going to be competitive seasons. We'll talk in just a second. A ranking system, early access. All right. So I think the big thing here is this new idea of a season, because right now we have a lot of the old players that's been around for 6 or 8 months ago, and then now just coming back, and their MMR don't really reflect their skill because they're a little rusty. They've been away for a while. Same with their combat power. So I think with the introduction of seasons, now we have more active player base, and we have a more accurate reflection based on MMRs and also combat powers. All right, so competitive seasons, there will be a new season every 3 months. I like that. Which means every 3 months, you will have the opportunity to become the top player on the leaderboard. You won't have to grind as hard as most people are right now because the MMR are permanent and so are the combat power. Each season has its own reward tree. Great. So you can earn unique items for its own season. Kind of keep things interesting. I think Mechabellum is one of the most replayable games that I've ever played. Aside from StarCraft, really. I just keep coming back. I mean, I pretty much know everything there is to know right now in Mechabellum, yet I still come back because there's always a better player. The first season will start this Thursday. Super excited. At the start of a new season, the combat power and insight will be set to 1, and then MMR will be reset to 90% of the original. This is weird. Why is it 90% of the original? Well, I guess we'll have to see. Maybe this is something that we want to keep the existing player happy because some of us work really hard to get to the MMR. I think the 90% is sort of a balancing act, right? Because the higher your MMR, the more you lose for that 10%. So I think it's just kind of bell curving everybody towards the middle. And if you are really good, chances are you're still going to grow for that regardless. At the start of a new season, there will be medals, credits, season points, blah, blah, blah. Yes, love that. All right, ranking system starting from the first season. Players can reach different leagues by improving their combat power. That's cool because right now it's always difficult to. There's a lot of question like what's the average skill level or MMR in the game. So I think with leagues we'll have a better idea of what the average means. MMR player can now choose to hide their MMR settings. Ah, that's fun. I think this will hopefully cause some of the high MMR players to not skip now that you cannot see the MMR of the other person. And hopefully we'll have a better game. For me, I think I'll probably just still display my MMR. I don't really care about my MMR. It goes up, it goes down. I don't care. But for some players, maybe they will. Early access awards. Yes, for those of you who have been with the Mechabellum team and game base since the very beginning, before the official 1.0 launch, we'll get some wonderful goodies. Visual optimization. Training base has been improved. Yeah, that has been asked quite some time, especially training base at night. It's just really dark. It's hard to see where things are. Specialist avatar have been replaced with new hand-drawn art. Okay, interesting. New visuals for fortified core buildings have been added. Cool. New specialist. Ah, I actually asked Bear like about this last time I interviewed him, and he said there's probably no plans to get these two in because they're really strong. Here they are, Fire Badger and Typhoon. I've actually been playing a lot of Steel Ball Wraith aggro, and now with a Fire Badger specialist, I mean, could you just imagine getting a Fire Badger with the Steel Ball Crawler starting units and then get Fire Badger on round 2? That's kind of overpowered, right? We'll see. I mean, this is new, and maybe you'll get nerfed, maybe you won't. We'll see. Now we got content filtering in the general chat. I think this is needed. I just don't know how good some of these filtering are. Shortcuts. Finally we got keyboard shortcuts to up promote units, which is really great. Round countdown. This one is godsend. So there will be a new music, and well, actually no, the music will stop playing at the last 10 seconds of the round, and it will switch to the sound of a clock. So this should be a very noticeable change if you're playing it with the sound on. Now we can add more friends from 100 to 300. This is actually great because I am currently at the limit, so we're going to get to 300. Performance optimization. Yes, I hope that this means what I think it means, because my game sometimes crash due to like a memory leak if I had the game on for too long. Balance adjustments. Okay, so this is the juicy stuff. Damage to players' HP. So War Factory got a nerf. So instead of 600, it's now to 500. I think this is a response to the previous buff to efficient maintenance, which reduces the per round maintenance cost with that technology. So from 100 per round down to 50 per round, encouraging players to get even more War Factory. So 600 to 500, okay. It's fine. I mean, I never thought this would be a problem because War Factory actually costs 800. So if it goes by all the rule that applies to all the other units, you should actually deal damage to what it costs, which is 800. But now we're just kind of neutering it to close to a giant, which is 400. Oh, speaking of giants, they are also getting nerfed a little bit in terms of HP damage from 400 to 350. So it's right now, if you want to maximize damage potential, you actually are encouraged to get medium or small units where they're actually dealing the full cost to the player's damage, HP. Vulcan gets a HP nerf, 3% decrease. So they become less proficient at tanking at the front. The experience increased by 10%, which means they're less likely to level up. This is potentially big because level 1 Vulcan is kind of crap, but level 2 with Scourge can effectively kill medium-sized units that are level 1. So if this takes longer, that just means carry Vulcan will be less viable. Steel Balls, holy crap. Experience required to rank up increased by 15%. Okay. Level 3 Steel Ball is madness. So I think with this nerf, we'll see more people just start buying Steel Balls at level 2, because now it makes more sense. Stonecallers. Attack decrease. There, 3%. Incendiary. Oh, this is a big one. Incendiary decreases Stonecaller range by 20. That's huge, because that's just going to make Stonecallers far less desirable and also forcing players to maybe take range. So Stonecaller starts with 180. If you take Incendiary, which reduces by 20, and I like to also take Launcher Overload, which decreases by 40, which means if you take both tags without taking range, you end up with 120, which is not really good for Stonecallers. The cost of high explosive got decreased. That's interesting. So these two, the Incendiary and high explosive, they're kind of interchangeable because they're both anti-chaff. So maybe we'll see more players go for high explosive, which on its own is already a very decent tech. It's just in the later rounds, Incendiary is more straightforward. War Factory, huge HP decrease, 12%. I think people are we're seeing too much Battle War Factory at the corners, and maybe that's something that we want to reduce. Here's the counter buff Efficient maintenance. So anyway, so efficient maintenance got buffed last turn, last patch. 50 cost, but it'll save you 150 maintenance fee per turn, which is a huge value. But now it's getting buffed to 200. So now you really have to think about this. It's still worth the money, I think, if you have more than 3 War Factory, but yeah, it's expensive now. Fire Badgers, HP decrease. Okay. Wow. So we got a nerf on the Fire Badgers. We got a experience nerf on the Steel Ball. So aggro players are really suffering on this patch. Like you can't do Steel Ball, Fire Badger aggro effectively. You can't do corner War Factories effectively. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Napalm. 20 seconds to 15 seconds. This is actually good. And it decreases the Fire Badger's HP by 40%. What the hell? Okay, so this completely changes the role of the Fire Badger with Napalm. Before, Fire Badger with Napalm is just Napalm, and Fire Badger is still tanky as hell. But with Napalm, one is being nerfed, and also is hitting Fire Badger by 40%. That's huge. I wonder if that's a mistake. Did they mean like damage? I'll have to find that out for you guys. But that's huge because now you can't have Fire Badgers on the front line anymore if you're using Napalm, or you kind of have to get range with Napalm, and Fire Badger is kind of like a support unit behind the Steel Balls, which is very weird. Fire Badger's got Scorch. Attack increased by 100%, so it's just like the Vulcan. So Fire Badger can still be tagged for frontline battle like a brawler, or it can be tagged for support with Napalm and range. Interesting. Tarantula got an HP decrease. Why? Tarantula is kind of weak in the current meta. And if anything, I would love to see a buff for the Tarantula. Maybe just so many people are playing aggro spiders on the line. Like I'm one of those. High explosive ammo getting buffed. Okay, I like that. That's a very strong tech. A lot of people don't use. Variants. Fortified Overlords are now going to pop up more common. Assault Stormcallers. Less range reduction. Less HP bonus. But I take it, right? Mass-produced Phoenix. And now stronger. So for 100 supply, you're getting a Phoenix that's just 30% weaker instead of 40% weaker. ER War Factory. Okay, you have to get the card before you get the War Factory. Cool. Improved Scorpion. And now has a 10-meter range bonus. Very nice. Alright, this is the new skin that we're going to be getting. We're going to get shiny or bronze-looking tarantulas with a stamp on his head. I feel like if you're going to get cool tarantulas, come on, let's give us some love. I mean, tarantula right now is just not in a great place in the meta. We'll love to see what happens. And we got fancy frames. All right, so that's a quick and dirty rundown of the patch note. And later today, I will be uploading more content surrounding this new 1.0 patch. Stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next one.